Now this video, in terms of quantity, will be short. But in terms of quality, I hope you benefit from it. And although one may interpret it as insignificant, it's really the intent of it. And so I just got back from the store. I bought a pineapple. And upon checking out in the self-checkout, there was a guy that was watching over. And whipped out the wallet to pay for the order, pay for the pineapple, and had $1. Something came to mind. Somebody recently randomly gave me money. And so I walked up to the dude and gave him $1. He said, "Would you find that on the floor?" Shook my head no. Didn't say anything. And he tried to hand it back to me. And I shook my head no. He's like, "No, take it." I said, "Brother, how would you feel if you were to give somebody a gift and they didn't receive it? They didn't receive it with an open heart. They tried to give it back to you. Said, 'Hey, I don't want that.'" He kind of just looked at me. Like, "What's your point? Right? What are you getting at? It's not about the $1. It's not about the money. It's not about the quantity." And I said, I continued because I could tell he was kind of waiting, like, "What's your point, brother?" And I said, "By not accepting this $1, you're blocking a channel. You may be the best giver. You may be always giving out yourself. But if you're a bad receiver, if you don't receive with an open heart, you're blocking a channel. Because really, giving and receiving are one. And one could say that life is a wonderful game of giving and receiving." And so I said to him, I said, "Hey, brother, you got to accept this $1. I didn't use those exact words, but that's the vibe. I wanted him to receive it. And by the end of the conversation, he's like, "Wow, man, thank you for those words. That really means a lot." And it's not about the $1. Like I said, in terms of quantity, many will see that as insignificant. But it's a spiritual quality, the intent behind the act, that makes a difference. It's the inner attitude, which expresses itself as the outer symbolic act, right? And so what's the point? I guess I've been led to say this simply because it's the little things, right? I can get on here and make a long video, talk for an hour, and make a movie, basically, right? But the intent of this is just to share a short little story that hopefully resonates with you, resonates with your heart. And I told the guy, "Hey, there's a condition." He said, "What is it?" I said, "Now you got to pay for it." He's like, "Dude, I'm always saying that. I'm always telling people to pay for it." I'm like, "Well, this is me showing up in your awareness, because everything always comes full circle. His ways are past finding out. The Lord's ways, sometimes I get chills just thinking about it, what the Lord's done. Not just this one, but for everyone. When through that remembrance, it allows us to really feel our essence, to act from the heart. Where there's a continuous loving witness that is always with us, The same loving witness within this is within you watching this. And it's simultaneous, even though one may say, hey, he recorded this video in the past. Actually, all is right now. Creation is finished. All is unfolding perfectly, spontaneously. Everything is expressing its essence right now. And therefore, there's no need for judgments, because everything is simply being what it is. And with this awareness, there's a natural lovingness. It's not something that you have to think yourself into. Oh, I should do the loving thing. It's something that you become. It's something that you are. It's who you are. And naturally, your outward activity will express this lovingness. And so I say this because I know some of you watching this will resonate with this, will feel the essence, perceive the essence, the place from which it is expressed, and won't just write it off as nonsense. Because it's not really even so much about what's said, but again, the spiritual intention of the outward action. Simply by faith, a deep sense of faith, which comes from the heart. And with intention, we can write a whole new script for the world. And uplift everything around us. We can light up the world without even trying to. Because over time, that intention just becomes who you are, like love. It's something that you become. And so you don't really even need an intention. Because simply by your very existence is an expression of this intention. And every single moment that you're aware, you're living the wonderful prayer. You're a living prayer. You're not living on a prayer. You are the prayer. And so, realize that giving and receiving are one. There is no separation. Don't block a channel. Don't be a great giver and a bad receiver. And vice versa. Similarly, don't be looking always to get and always to take. And not be a good giver. We want both to be in balance, harmonious. Just like the masculine and the feminine energies within us, operating at full force and in proper balance. Which results in absolute non-resistance and contentment in every circumstance. As you realize you're here for eternal service. That's all of our purpose. And so I say this, hoping that you benefit from this. God bless. Now, off into the silence. Bliss. The I amness of our existence. It's not my life. It's not your life. It's the Lord's life within all of us.